Shalom, my brothers and sisters. Shalom, and welcome to another segment of Less Than 10 Minutes. Less Than 10 Minutes, Words to Yashar'al, Nation of Believers. My name is Symmanayah, and today is August 15th, 2013. If you are tuning in for the first time, you will come to know that Yashar'al, Nation of Believers, of whom I am referring to, consists of Hebrews and Goyim, Aubrey and Gentiles, other nations, all those who seek to worship and obey Almighty Yahuwah, all those who accept Yahusha as Mashyach, as Messiah. These are my brothers and sisters. This is my family. These words are addressed to you. In this segment of Less Than 10 Minutes, Words to Yashar'al, I want to address fight for food, the other side of famine. Fight for food, the other side of famine. Fight for water, the other side of drought. In search of safety. Who has discerned what will occur during these last days? Who can hear what the Spirit of Yahusha is guiding us to do? How long do you think it will be before things become more visible regarding these last days? What are you going to do if you are alive when the two witnesses of Revelation arrive or emerge? Matthew 24:6 and 7 reads as follows. And you shall begin to hear of fightings and reports of fightings. See that you are not troubled, for these have to take place, but the end is not yet. Many people think about this as just wars and regular wars in terms of dealing with the army, but there are all types of battles going on, my brothers and sisters. Believe it or not, there is a battle. There are battles over food and fresh water, even as we speak. If you doubt this, search out. Search out throughout the internet, and you'll discover that there are battles and wars going on over food and water. Some more devastating than others, but they are real. Revelation 11:6 says, these possess authority to shut the heavens so that no rain falls in the days of their prophecy. They possess authority over water to turn them to blood and to smite the earth with all plagues as often as they wish. So if we have famine, plagues, and then this is Revelation 11:6 is talking about the two witnesses. So if famine, plague, wars and fights, drought, scarcity of water. Yes, we can read the scriptures and see that it says that these things will happen in the last days. But who has given thought to if there's a shortage of food, people will be fighting over food. There's a shortage of water, people will be fighting over water. If conditions are increasing and becoming very chaotic and turmoil is real, would not people be searching for safety? My brothers and sisters, end times are real. Last days are upon us. Even if you were to examine some of the practical facts, such as increasing food shortages worldwide and the increase in disregard to human life, the fruit of man's evil has a threshold. Who is able to count the days? Who is able to recognize the trends of destruction? Who can discern there is a righteous choice before us? Who is able to discern the direction to safety? While many may read about prophecy, how many have considered that if there is a massive food shortage, people will begin to fight over food? In Genesis 47 chapter, we see people who were willing to give themselves over to slavery for food. What will a slave do for his or her slave master? People will be controlled by those who possess food, with the exception of those who take heed to the voice of the Spirit of Yahusha, our Mashyach, our Messiah. We hear often about drought in different parts of the country and or world. How many of us are aware there are current battles over fresh water? I ask this again. How many of us are aware battles for water is for personal consumption as well as for the use of production of food, machinery, tools, and other products. Just because we don't pay attention to what's occurring before our eyes does not mean these conditions, battles, and/or the results of these conflicts won't reach our doorsteps. Please be aware that when major shortages of food and fresh water shortages become more prevalent and widespread, people will begin to seek out weapons to protect what resources they possess, as well as attempt to and/or succeed in taking from others. Who can we trust, and whose hand should we place our lives regarding our future? Knowing that in the scriptures the prescribed solutions are before our eyes, and the Spirit of Yahusha can and does light up our minds and souls to see His righteousness and living instructions and guidance. I have asked in times past that you begin to ask yourself, if major chaos broke out in neighborhoods and community that causes displacements from one's home or residence, what are you going to do? I have attempted to get individuals to realize, in the wake of the conditions mentioned in Scripture, famine and food shortages and droughts and diseases, people will seek together with others of like mind. Many will run to family, friends, neighbors, co-workers, or anyone they believe they can trust to find comfort and build strength and discover safety. There is a term, birds of a feather flock together. We are also familiar with the scripture that informs us that no house divided against itself can stand. We see these things will come about during chaos. How would you be sure that those who gather around will not sell you out for food and or water? How can one find comfort if there are those among you without convictions to worship and obey the voice of Yahusha? What assurance do we have regarding safety and ability to have access to food and fresh water? So, while the natural response would be to come together with friends, family, co-workers, or neighbors, or those we find comfort, the true prescribed righteous action would be discover those who seek to worship and obey Almighty Yahuwah, those who understand the importance of the guidance, the living guidance and instruction of the Spirit of Yahusha. It's time to begin putting one another to the test and praying for discernment to identify those who take this walk seriously. Identify those who seek to worship and obey the Most High Spirit, unwavering. Choose wisely, my brothers and sisters, who you will serve. Pray for a discerning heart to identify those who are chosen and are called to lead, serve Yashar'al now and in the wake of total collapse, civil unrest, chaos, and more, in the wake of humbling events to come. Are you preparing for a fight with tools of men, or will you realize that the Master Yahusha will guide us according as He see fit, and His power will protect those that are His? Are we seeking to gain our own life or lose it for the sake of the righteous Father Yahuwah? Remember, there will be martyrs, and there will be those who will be led to safety. There will also be those who will be put to sleep or die before the emergence of intense prophecy fulfillment. I ask questions, many questions. If you have not realized by now, I pray that you begin to ask questions of one another as well as in your prayers. Be encouraged, my brothers and sisters. Soon and very soon, much will be made clear to those who seek to worship and obey the living instructions and guidance from the Spirit of Yahusha. Choose wisely. Again, I say choose wisely who you will serve this day. Until next time, my brothers and sisters, be mindful. A fight for food, a fight for water is coming. But the Most High is not slack concerning His promises to His people, to Yashar'al. Until next time, my brothers and sisters, Shalom, Shalom, Shalom.